Aloha and welcome back to Yama Studios. My name is Hanamaru Yama. I am a scalp micropigmentation practitioner here at Yama Studios, which is a paramedical tattoo clinic based in Honolulu, Hawaii. Today, I'm going to be answering one of the most frequently asked questions about scalp micropigmentation, and that is, does scalp micropigmentation look natural? This is a really good question, and naturally it's asked a lot because the whole point of any sort of hair loss solution is to solve the problem of hair loss with a natural looking solution. So SMP, or scalp micropigmentation, does look very natural if it's done by a good practitioner and if it's done correctly. You really want to go to somebody who knows their stuff and has real experience doing this form of cosmetic tattoo. It's very precise, it's painstaking, it's done with a specific machine and specific pigment. If you use the wrong pigment or you use a traditional tattoo ink for SMP, you're going to get an unnatural looking result, and that is much worse than not having it at all. You want to make sure that you are going to someone who knows what they're doing. I can't stress enough how important that is to getting a natural looking outcome. And then the second is technique. So if someone applies scalp micropigmentation outside of the very, very detailed parameters of the procedure, it's not going to look natural. The reason SMP looks natural is because of the specific process that's done in order to achieve the desired realistic result. SMP is very specifically 2 to 3 treatments over the course of almost a month. It's very important that there is healing time done in between these procedures in order to allow pigment to settle. A skilled practitioner will use different color pigments diluted to different variations of tone over the course of this time in order to layer the hair follicle replication tattoos. You really, really, really want to make sure that whoever you're going to has a grasp of this concept. If they don't, the result you're going to end with is not going to be realistic. If you look at your hair follicles now, they're actually not all the same size. There is a slight variation in both the darkness of how they look and also this dispersion. So the pattern, the shade, and then also the size of them all is factored in to how the desired end result looks and how realistic it is. The more variation in tone, the more variation in size, and then also even the areas of the head. Certain areas of the head require different techniques than other areas, and it takes somebody who knows what they're doing to do it in such a way that it looks realistic. There are 3 ways to find a good scalp micropigmentation practitioner. The key to a natural look is finding someone who specializes in scalp micropigmentation. The first part of this is going to be finding someone who is trained, who is skilled, who does this for a living. The second thing is making sure that that person has a tattoo license. At this time, scalp micropigmentation is regulated like traditional tattoo. If someone specializes in scalp micropigmentation, but they're not a licensed tattoo artist, you shouldn't be going to them because they didn't follow the laid out channels for making sure that they're operating within the law, and therefore you can't really assume that they're going to know what they're doing. The third thing is you're going to want to make sure that you look at their photos. Once you find a practitioner you're considering, you need to look at their photos and see how their results look. That's going to be key to seeing if they know how to work with your skin type, with your hair type, and with your level of hair loss. So let's go back to the first point, which is finding someone who specializes in scalp micropigmentation. I can't do traditional tattoo. In that same way, a traditional tattoo artist cannot do what I do. It's very specific, it takes a very specific set of skills, techniques, and it also uses a completely different type of pigment. While they are both tattoo forms, they don't really have any crossover. So you really want to find somebody who does good work in scalp micropigmentation. Second, you want to look for someone who is licensed. Licensing is huge. And the reason I say this is because if you're licensed, it means that at least you went to the fullest extent that you were able to follow the law. You've done your bloodborne pathogens, you understand sanitary procedures, and also you're abiding by the rules of the state, county, province that you live in. And that's really important because it's not that hard to do. And if someone hasn't made that effort, I find that it would be difficult to trust them with something as important as your scalp. The third thing that's going to be looking at before and after photos. See if the person has been working with people who share your skin tone, because there is something to be said for people who specialize in certain skin tones. That does matter, and some people are more skilled with Fitzpatrick 1 and 2s, which would be really pale people, redheads, and then some people are better at specializing at darker skin tones, because it does require a little bit of a different skill set and experience. So it's important to look for those markers when you're trying to find a practitioner. All of these things are really basic criteria for assessing whether or not someone is a good fit for you, and especially seeing if you mesh with the practitioner. You want to make sure that they listen to you, that they hear your concerns, and also that they help you to formulate a hair loss plan. So when someone comes into my studio, when they tell me what they're looking to fix, I usually give them recommendations for how best to optimize the look they currently have. So whatever's lower maintenance, whatever is easiest to achieve with their type of hair loss, all of these things are going to be factored into the look. And you want somebody who's able to address all of these facets of your concerns, and also to really get to know what your face looks like, how your hair grows, and then also your level of hair loss. All of these things are elements of a complete natural SMP look, and they're all equally important. So when you're looking, do take these things into account and make sure that whoever it is, once you've met with them or done a consultation, I always do consultations at my studio because I think it's really important for people to be able to ask these questions and screen and kind of weigh their options. But make sure that they are willing to tailor a look for you, that they lay out a hair loss plan for you, because SMP is very personal. And when you're going in to get a procedure like this, you want to make sure you get the best one possible. And especially you want to get the most realistic outcome. So armed with these three things, just let that help you on your journey as you ask these questions and find what's right for you. A good example of this is if your hair loss is localized to the top of your head. Though it's not always what people want to do, I do highly recommend when someone comes in with that they go ahead and buzz the sides. The reason is because it's going to look much more realistic. The thing is, I only know that because I'm an experienced practitioner and I've been through this with multiple clients. And if someone doesn't know what they're doing, they're just going to tattoo your scalp, and that's not what you want. That is not going to get you a realistic outcome. The service is much more nuanced than that, and there's a lot more to it. There's hairstyle tactics, there's even different methods for trying to regrow your hair as well, while in conjunction with scalp micropigmentation, they can form a complete and realistic picture. But these things only come when you pick the correct practitioner, and that's very important. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my videos. If you have questions, I gotcha. Just drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them. If you want to learn more about SMP, please do pay attention for when I post new videos because I'll answer more of these questions. You can also visit my website below, which is yamastudios.co, or you can contact me personally either on my email from our website, or you can shoot me a message on Facebook or send me a DM on Instagram. I love to hear from you folks, and if you have questions, I can't wait to help. Thanks so much for watching.